Hey everyone, this is the second demonstration for the line project, and I'm going to begin where I left off with the first one. And if you recall, I had done all these sort of experimental applications of various materials on my rough sketch paper. And then from there, I let everything dry and I cut out these squares, these viewfinders. I cut out a 1-inch square, a 2-inch square, and then I cut out a 3-inch square and a 4-inch square. And I sort of walked around and tried to figure out what thing I liked best and what it might sort of say because of the words that I had selected for myself. So having done that, the selection that I made came out this way. This is my word for me because I seem to be really indecisive and sort of all over the place. And then I chose that one because I like the energy and the movement of that. And I'm a pretty energetic person. And then I chose this one that I had made later because my friends tell me that I'm really bossy. So this is me being bossy, and this is you guys, my students, or people I try to tell what to do. And then I made these two, and these are smaller, and I really liked this one because I sort of saw it as me being this here and you guys, my students, sort of climbing up this hill gradually. So this is me sort of being supportive of you. And one more, this is sort of the dark and moody side that I sometimes have, particularly in the winter time. So those are the ones that I've chosen. And I decided that I wanted to make these out of different materials that I thought spoke more strongly to them. And I also didn't want to include this part. So what I did next was I took a piece of Bristol board, which is this heavy duty board, this paper that I have underneath here, and I replicated some of these. And what I did was I decided to make my sort of indecisive one out of the rubber cement, and this is painted on top. And then I just rubbed and rubbed and rubbed, and the rubber cement sort of peels off. And then for the energetic one, I decided to use this part, but remember these are 4x4 squares. So I ended up with this one, with this kind of whoosh sort of movement to it. So I really like those, and I'm going to continue on and replicate each one of these onto my Bristol board. And it's going to probably take 2 or 3 tries to make them as good as what I want. But once that's done, then I would cut them out. So that's that. Now what I want to do is show you about the mounting process. So the mounting process is going to happen on a black piece of either mat board or paper. And you're going to find that you will need a sharp, hard pencil, and you're going to need a ruler with inch markings. Make sure that you have inches on it and that it's not a metric system ruler with centimeters and meters on it. So you want one with inches. And I know a lot of people aren't taught how to use rulers these days. So in my module called Resources, you will see it will teach you how to use a ruler because that's really, really important to what we're going to be doing in this class. And last but not least, the most important tool of the semester is this 30, 60, 90 triangle. And as you can see, I have a 90-degree corner here, and that is what I'm going to use to make absolutely sure everything is straight. I've also done a picture for you of the measurements and what will be required. So here's our 20-inch measurement this way. Here's our 15-inch measurement up and down. And then there will be 2-inch columns in between each of your white squares here that you will just glue right on top of this black board. So we've got 2-inch columns this way, and then we're going to go in a 2¼ inch column here, a 2¼ inch column here, and a 2½ inch column at the bottom. That's kind of the easiest way to make these measurements. So what I'm going to start by doing is breaking it up into my 2-inch parcels across the top. So I start at the 0 on the end of the ruler. I'm hoping you can see this. Maybe I should tilt it up a little bit. There we go, and over. So up at the top, I'm going to measure 2 inches, and each square is 4 inches. So 2 plus 4 is 6. And then I'm going to add 2 more inches, so 6 to 8. And then 4 more inches is 12. And I'm keeping this 2-inch column going. 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. So there's that, and then I'm going to do it again down below. So I've got 2 inches, 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 2 inches is 8, 8 plus 4 for the square, for the next square is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14, 14 plus 4 is 18. Okay. So that means that if I line my ruler up, these guys should line up perfectly from top to bottom. But I'm going to use my right triangle to get my lines started because I want to, if you can see, line up my triangle at the perfectly straight square edge that I know the Blick people cut. And then I'm going to line it up with my dots that I have made. And I'm going to draw a straight line across very lightly with my sharp, hard pencil. Can you guys see that line? And then I'm going to do it where the 4-inch mark is here. Again, making a perfectly straight alignment with everything, seeing my 2 dots, making that line, and then I'm going to do my 2-inch line, and I'm going to continue across the whole board, but I'm not going to do that now because you guys can just continue on with what you're seeing me do. So once I have that, then I'm going to measure from the top down. And I'm going to measure 2¼ inches down. So this ruler is marked with the 4-inch. So this is 1 inch from 4 to 5. The second longest mark is the 1/2 inch, which is halfway through. The third longest mark right there and right there is 1/4, 2/4 or 1/2, and 3/4. So now I'm going to measure 2¼ inches, and I'm going to put a mark. So oh boy, now I have to do my math. 2¼ that would be 6¼ So 6¼ and 4¼ is 10½. You guys following me? I'm just doing math. And then from here, I'm going to go 2½ inches. So at the halfway mark, at the halfway mark, at the halfway mark, and then at the 13. Is that right? No, that is not right. 2¼ 2¼ plus 4 inches is 4¼ Okay, so 4¼ And then I made the mistake, didn't I? That's 1 square. This is 1 square's worth here. And then from here, 8 1/4. That's where I blew it. So 8 1/4 plus 4 is 12 1/4. There's my problem. I skipped one. Okay. So that means that my square is going to go here, space, here, and then forget this last line. Okay? So now when I measure over, I am very math challenged. I just want to share with you that. That's why I'm an artist. So now I go across and I'm going to draw a straight line here. And then I'm going to measure up and make sure my triangle lines up perfectly. Another line here. Straighten it up. This becomes second nature when you get used to it. And then I'm going to go down here to the proper one. And I'm going to go, you know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to flip it because now I have much more information on what line is exactly straight. And I'm going to go across that way. So now I have a square composition going in here and a square composition going in here. So then what I would do is I would take my rubber cement and I would put it on the back and I would put it here. And then I would glue it down perfectly, and then I would put a book on top just to secure everything to make sure that it doesn't pop. So that's the way I would present these. And I'd put my next square here, next square over here, next square over here. So that's that. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions, but that is the general way that we mount our pictures. Okay, bye.